Hello and welcome to your 18 WJTS in form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and we've got some very special ladies in the studio today to talk about a kind of more seasonal group or organization and some very exciting things that they're doing this year. So without further ado, we have the group members from Dubois County Leadership Academy. We have Deidra and Janet Rydberg. So welcome to you both. Very excited to have you.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yes, so Dubois County Leadership Academy, we had a bunch of groups in last year, but maybe either of you, if you would maybe explain to us a bit more what the Dubois County Leadership Academy is and maybe what you've been doing in this more course-like meeting type style. It is like a school course essentially, right?
It is.
But it's fun. The Dubois County Leadership Academy started several years ago. Ken Sicard and Ferdinand Town Council decided that they wanted to build a leadership, and then they decided to expand it to all people from Dubois County. And it's a 6-month commitment that once a month we get together for about 4 hours and have different people. The first lesson, we had someone that was a consultant, and he came and talked about leadership and had a lot of fun with that. And we've had, last time, we had different local politicians that came and talked about their leadership roles. And the next time we're going to be meeting out at Jasper Engine Training Center, and don't exactly know what the agenda is for that, but you just need to talk with your employer and make sure that they're okay with your commitment, which I don't know why any employer would not be, because it grows you and the people of Dubois County. I don't know what else.
Absolutely. And so part of this is Capstone Project.
Yes.
So we're split into 2 separate teams, and the work on the capstone is done outside of our meeting time. And so each group got to choose what it is that we wanted to focus on, and we had a lot of great conversation. There is a lot of need here in Dubois County, but ultimately our team, which is Janet and I and Evan Schum, he works at Buffalo Trace Golf Course, and Jason Sommersheim, he works at Springs Valley Bank. We decided to focus on assisting Crisis Connection.
Yes, and you've definitely chose a unique but very needful kind of task to really tackle with your Capstone Project. And this will, for those who maybe aren't aware, the Capstone is really like the everlasting print on Dubois County after the end of the Leadership Academy term for everyone involved, right?
You're right, absolutely. How can we make a legacy within the community where we serve and really just make a difference? So we're tasked from start to finish. Here is your time, go do it and get it done by August, or that's the actual goal for graduation. Yes. So it's been really fun.
So ladies, this really does affect Crisis Connection, a local nonprofit entity that helps people in a more maybe confined sense with various things that they do. But one thing I really want to ask you is why choose Crisis Connection? There's a lot, as you kind of specified, there's a lot going on in Dubois County, but why Crisis Connection was really your go-to for this project?
Well, I think Deidra actually brought it up, but I've been working with Crisis Connection for probably about 6 years, volunteering. I was on the board for a while, and they have a budget every year, but that budget doesn't include obtaining another reliable vehicle, and so this was a need that they had, and so we just thought that would be a great need. You don't think of Dubois County or Southern Indiana that there would be a big need for people that are victims of sexual assault and domestic violence, but it is a lot greater than I would have ever imagined. So it's this vehicle will help to make sure that there's a reliable source to be able to get to victims or transport victims. I know whenever I mentioned to the director last night that about the project, she said they just went up to Indianapolis, had to transport a victim up to Indianapolis to the airport. At the same time, they were transporting another victim to a hospital. So I mean, it's definitely a need.
Absolutely. And Crisis Connection does not only serve Dubois County, there are 7 counties in southern Indiana. They put a lot of miles on those cars. And the last thing we want is for an advocate to be on the road with a victim and worried on if they're going to get there.
Right.
And so this seemed like something that was a no-brainer for us. Their board and their staff is working to fundraise to keep their operation going. And so, getting a vehicle and funding to make sure that they continue to go don't make their priority list, but it's really important for what they're doing. And so we just really felt moved to step in and help to make sure that that's not something they have to worry or think about in the future.
Exactly right. I mean, you think whether someone is familiar with nonprofit work or not, you think about, okay, the mission of these nonprofits and all the work that it takes to continually provide those services and whatnot, but you don't, maybe on the surface layer, you don't account for transportation costs, for, keeping the lights on at the office building, all of these needs that these entities have. And I mean, if Crisis Connection is running the wheels so that they can continue to provide services for Southern Indiana, that is huge in being able to service something as meaningful as transportation for them is just phenomenal. So, you kind of mentioned that Crisis Connection, they do a lot of different services, a lot of different things like that. So providing them with a vehicle, I've heard some good news. You guys have some exciting stuff to share, but that doesn't mean that the ask still isn't there for the community, right?
That's right. So our dream number one goal was to find a car to be donated to them. And we didn't need anything brand spanking new. It doesn't need to have all the bells and whistles. It just needs to be safe and reliable. And we are so blessed that Nick Abbott and Ruxer Ford Lincoln just recently have committed to donating a vehicle in totality to Crisis Connection. Yay! And so we are very, very grateful for that. And so now, that was our top goal. And now we really want to build a maintenance fund for Crisis Connection so that they can get oil changes, get those new tires whenever they need them. And so we're creating a restricted fund for them so that whenever those needs arise, their current fleet of vehicles were given by very generous donors, but they're getting a little elderly. Right. And so, the need for maintenance is coming up more frequently. And so we want them to not have to think about that. We want them to have the funds to be able to get it done and keep their operations going. And so, our work is not done. We have the commitment for the car, which we're so grateful for, but now we want to continue to build to make sure that the future is easy for them when it comes to transportation. And so that's what we're working on.
Yes.
And I guess also to get the word out that if anybody does have another reliable vehicle out there, like say someone is moving into a nursing home or moving to another location in the United States or something, and they want to donate a vehicle, right. I'm sure that Crisis Connection would always be open to receiving a gift like that.
Absolutely.
So.
Yes, which that brings me to my next question, what type of commitments or donations are you guys really looking to receive from the community, whether it be financial or, again, if you guys are still looking for a maybe another vehicle to be donated, what different donations or gives can the community kind of give to you guys to help with this big donation, big handout per se for a fantastic cause?
Absolutely. So yes, we would take another vehicle donation. I don't think Crisis Connection is going to say no. But, every donation is meaningful, whether it be $5, $500, everything adds up. If every person in Dubois County gave $1, we would be in really good shape. So we really want people to think and put themselves in the shoes of our advocates for Crisis Connection who are on the road and transporting someone on a very, very stressful day. What does that feel like? And how would you feel if, the car broke down while you were doing that? And so that is why we're doing what we're doing. I hope that would inspire your listeners and watchers, viewers today, to consider making a donation to our project and whatever is meaningful for them. And again, it can be anything. And if you have a business that might do maintenance or tires or something where you would do in-kind service, that's something we would be interested in sharing with Crisis Connection as well.
Yes, I mean, my perfect example, which you kind of already hit on, was, if you would like to give in kind the service of car detailing, I mean, being able to travel in a safe and comfortable vehicle is super important for anyone like that as well, but also making sure that they're good to go on the road and safe on the road is just phenomenal. So if anyone has any way to contribute that, the ears are open per se. So if anyone would like to donate, maybe financially with maybe a check or whatnot, what do they need to know in order to submit that to you guys successfully?
Absolutely. So the Dubois County Leadership Academy is a registered nonprofit, so all donations are tax deductible, so that's an added bonus. But checks can be made to the Leadership Academy, so DCLA or Dubois County Leadership Academy, and just write Crisis Connection in the memo, and then they'll make sure that it gets into our fund. And those can be mailed to the DCLA office at 2065 Main Street, and that's P.O. Box 7 in Ferdinand. And if anyone has questions or comments or wants to reach out to us, we do have an email address, which is DCLAprojectsaferide@gmail.com. And we're checking that, and we'll make sure that we get it directed. And of course, if you know Janet or I or Evan and Jason, feel free to reach out to us directly too, and we'll be glad to set you up and make sure that your money goes exactly where you want it to go.
That is a good assurance. Janet, did you have something to add?
Well, I really appreciate that we're able to come on to here. We were on the radio station just before this, and because not only to get the funds donated for this project, but also just to get the word out about these two wonderful entities, Dubois County Leadership Academy. I mean, it's just an awesome opportunity for anybody to grow in their leadership abilities, but also Crisis Connection, because not everybody, even that's in those situations, that's maybe gone through or has been a victim of sexual assault or domestic violence, sometimes they think they're alone, but they're not alone. There's people out there that are ready to help. The advocates that are there are just amazing. They're just such caring people and have such wonderful experience. So I just think that I really appreciate that you are allowing us to come on to your show.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. I mean, say it isn't in kind, but we just like being able to see our community members, see your shining faces, and see what you do to put back in the community and do all this fantastic work. And DCLA, it is more of a seasonal thing that gets kind of maybe left in the dust per se, because you guys are doing all that hard work behind the scenes. But I mean, just in the past years of graduates, there's been some fantastic things implemented in Dubois County, and same thing with Crisis Connection. They do I would imagine they do phenomenal services for those who need it, and maybe just keeping it in the back of your brain that Crisis Connection is there if and when you were to need it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different resources and all the fantastic stuff. So again, Janet, on your point, being able to highlight and bring all of this up and remind people that there are a lot more things going on in Dubois County is just exciting to see. And in general, we hope to see all the fun stuff that you guys end up being able to donate to Crisis Connection because of this. It's definitely a unique project, but as you said, the need's there, and it'll be justly used for sure. So we're very excited to see how the project turns out.
Thank you so much. We are too.
Yes, and remind us one more time, if anyone has information or wants information on your project, how best to contact you guys.
Absolutely. Shoot us an email at DCLAprojectsaferide@gmail.com.
And you're looking to wrap up the project by when? Remind us as well on that.
The end of the Dubois County Leadership Academy is in August, but I'm sure if people want to continue to donate, Crisis Connection will be glad for any support.
Very good. Well, we'll get you that time frame. August. Make sure to have those donations in and whatnot, and we look forward to seeing you guys graduate in a few months. Very exciting.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you both for being on today. We appreciate your time.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much at home for watching. This has been your 18 WJTS in.form with the Dubois County Leadership Academy project team number 1. Not saying any exciting things with number 1 or number 2. They do some fantastic work. But we are local people watching local people.